York's classic rock, Q1043.
Good morning to my friend Anthoula Katsimatides. We are catching up, and I was just so shocked to hear that, Anthoula, you are on one of my favorite shows that my husband and I are streaming. It's called Severance. It's on Apple Plus TV. It's directed by Ben Stiller, and it's just a fascinating concept until it gets really freaky once you do a dive into the whole show. But it starts out with this concept that you wonder, well, would I be willing to do this?
Right.
Basically, your life becomes completely separated. Your work life is your work life. When you are there, you don't even know about your home life. It's like you're a different version of yourself. And then when you go home, there's no thought of work. There's no concept of work.
Right.
All you have is your home life, but you are aware in both situations of your other self. And it becomes really dark. But you are in the first two episodes. How did that happen?
Shelley, I auditioned like an actor's dream. You audition and you book a part. And it's funny because I had auditioned pre-COVID and then everything was put on hold. And then right around, I guess about a year ago, we were still in the COVID world. The casting director said, she reached out to me and said, we need to have a Zoom callback. So it was a Zoom callback, she said, with the director. And I thought for a second, well, there must be another director. I'm not going to actually meet Ben Stiller, and so I did. I had a Zoom call back with Ben, and the first time like interacting with him. Well, I have a story about how I've interacted with him in the past, so I'll tell you about that. But it was great, and we had a wonderful audition, a wonderful conversation, and then we shot in New Jersey, and everyone who knows the show knows that the Lumen offices are in this like huge building. I mean, this building is the Bell South building in Jersey. If anyone knows, it's this gorgeous, almost retro kind of a building. But
where in Jersey?
It's in not Tenafly. Sugar Snappers. I forgot. I don't know Jersey. I'm a New Yorker. But it's the Bell South building. You can Google it in New Jersey.
Okay.
And even like being on set with like masks on, masks off, masks on, masks off, it had this sort of eerie kind of feeling. And I have to say that their attention to detail, and I think it all stems from Ben. I wore a beautiful green suit. I was the secretary in the front lobby when Adam Scott walks in and presents his badge, and he has to get clearance in order to go to work. And you can't even, you see me from the waist up, but I went in 4 separate times, and this was a custom made suit for me that had to look a certain way, feel a certain way, have a certain, kind of had to say something retro. And the first day when I was in hair and makeup, I had really long hair at that time. And so the hair and makeup people, curled my hair like normal. And Ben saw that. He says, "Oh no, that's all wrong." And so they ended up pulling my hair all the way back like my mom used to when I was a kid, and like gave me brain, headache, whatever. So
because you couldn't have free hair, because the whole concept of that environment, it's very sterile. It's very rigid.
Yes.
There's no free anything there.
Right. And, kudos to Adam, because I feel like Adam took his role so seriously that, whether he was acting or whether we were told, action or not, he stayed in that kind of frame of mind, which was really fascinating to watch as a younger actor. And Ben as well, everyone knows Ben Stiller from all his comedies, but he is a straight up serious professional guy with a wonderful tone and a very kind of focused way about him. It was really fascinating to work with him. He has a wonderful sister named Amy Stiller. who I've met in acting classes and writing classes, and we became friends. And she's in the show as well. So check out Amy Stiller, folks. I'm not going to tell you
Wait
where.
a minute, but where does she appear? I don't look at the cast list, in every episode.
I
What does she play?
haven't seen all the episodes as of yet.
Uh-huh.
And I don't want to spoil it for folks either, but she's in there. You can't miss her. She's got gorgeous curly red hair. I don't know if they pull it back for her yet though, but
There would only be curly hair in the home life. It would not be in the work life. So what did he have you do in the audition?
So basically, and this is the thing about being a guest star, you sort of, your job is just to kind of move the story forward, so while I'm extremely grateful that I was on the show, I don't want to give the misconception that I was a integral part of the show, although Adam Scott wouldn't be able to get into the building without me. So there's
That's
that.
Right.
It's funny because she was supposed to be this stern, kind of straight-laced secretary. And the audition, he had me do it several ways. He had me say the few lines several ways, one way kind of really stern and dismissive. And then he's like, okay, that's a little, let's be friendly this time, so then I did it in a friendly tone, and he's like, ooh, too friendly. Okay, let's split the difference, and so I split the difference. And I guess what directors like to see is that you can take direction as an actor, that you can actually listen to what it is that their vision is and execute that for them. And I'm a director's dream. I love being directed. Some actors hate it, but I love it. Like, tell me what you want and I'll do it, keeps the secret out, keeps them like, I don't have to think enough, like, well, what is it that he wants? He just tells me, and there you go, So I had to let Adam Scott into the building, and it was funny because I had to stare at him. I made the phone call. I told him that Adam was here, and then I had to stare at him and just hold. And it was so hard. It was like almost like a blinking test, like who's gonna blink first. And he just kept saying, Ben just kept saying, okay, hold it.
Because that sets the stage for the feel of the whole show. I'm speaking with Anthoula Katsimatides, and she appears in 2 episodes of the wonderful Ben Stiller created drama Severance on Apple Plus. So just let's go over this concept a little bit. Yeah, would you be down with the Severance type situation ever? I mean, Adam plays somebody who's positively shattered because he lost his wife. Right. So he really needs to escape that misery and that loneliness. Right. And that's why and you get the feeling that everyone has a reason why, something.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Well, I mean, if we've all been in those situations, we've had our hearts broken, we've dealt with loss, and, coming from a place of like having lost so much in my own personal life, I could actually understand, the desire and the need to have that weight lifted, even if it's for 8 hours a day, but at the end of the day, you go home and you still got it, and so to mess with your mind like that, it's just, I mean, it blows my mind, because you're like, wow, is it therapy or is it torture?
Or is it worse?
Is it worse? Right. Because that will always flood back. And then you're always left with some sort of confusion when you are faced with parts of the other worlds in your other world,
And it comes to a point where you can't really, they find that it cannot be completely separated. Severed. It's just impossible because of the nature of human beings. All right. Now, you have been a director yourself, right?
No, I don't direct. I've been a producer.
Okay. The Olympia Dukakis documentary. Tell us about that, because people could still see it.
Oh, you know what? And we just got picked up on Amazon, actually.
Oh, so congrats.
Thank you. You can see it on Amazon. It's called Olympia. And unfortunately, Olympia has passed, but she was around when we were making it, and she absolutely loved it. And it really does capture the essence of Olympia Dukakis. And for those of you that don't know, Olympia won her Oscar in the movie Moonstruck, written by John Patrick Shanley. And I think that's her most, well, that role, and also the role of her playing the first transgendered woman on TV in Tales of the City, which was on
Right.
PBS 20 years ago, and
Wow.
then they
20 years ago.
yeah, 20 now probably 22, right? 20 years ago. And then they brought it back, and they, redid it on Netflix. So you can also see her in Tales of the City. But I really encourage everybody to, it's this little documentary, Shelley, that like we literally poured our heart and soul and money into. And we're so proud of it. Harry Mavromichalis was the director, Greek Cypriot born. And he had met Olympia at a workshop. He invited her to do a workshop at NYU where he was a student. And it just, developed, their relationship developed from there. And then, of course, as an actor, a Greek American actor, I sought her out in the beginning of my career, and she was my mentor, and then became really like a grandmother or mother figure for me, And so it truly was a labor of love. But she is a spitfire, a legend, a woman who like just spoke her mind, didn't give a darn about what you thought. She was just a beautiful soul, very clear. I mean, after being, so alive so many years, I guess you gain that wisdom and that clarity, So yes, Olympia, the film, Olympia.com, olympiathefilm.com is where you can find more information about that.
And when on Netflix? When does it come to Netflix?
Amazon. It's on Amazon.
Amazon, sorry.
It's on Amazon. And what else should I say? I just got called in again to do another episode of Law and Order, which is exciting.
Oh, awesome. This is like the life of a New York actor, right? I mean, you got to do Law and Order, right?
Oh my God, Shelley, Law and Order is a rite of passage for all actors.
Right.
In the very beginning of my career, there was no Law and Order, and it was like hustle, hustle, struggle, struggle. And I'm still struggling and hustling. But as soon as I booked a Law and Order episode, everything got a little bit easier, just a little bit easier, and those people, I'm on SVU, and from the actors to the hair and makeup people to the PAs, the producer, everyone is so wonderful. I mean, after 25 years or whatever, I mean, it's such a family. So it feels wonderful that they ask you back. I'm a recurring character. I'm a public defender or attorney, Meryl Smith. Do I look like a Meryl Smith?
Sure you do. Do they ever have Law and Order reunions? I mean, think of the number of actors who you'd have to have it at the Javits Center.
That's a good point.
I mean, seriously. And then if you include the crew.
Oh, forget it. Yeah, absolutely.
It would be a small town. It would be like a Teaneck. But they should.
That would be really cool. I don't know how.
Okay. All right. I have a question for you. Now, this doesn't make any sense to me with all the Law and Orders and all the spinoffs and all the reruns. Yeah. Why is there not a Law and Order channel?
That is a really good question. I'm really surprised that Dick Wolf hasn't done that yet. Just
you got to ask him.
Channel. I mean, you got enough content, like.
I know. All right. You have 1 minute left. What else are you involved in, or what else do you want us to know?
Well, I'm on the board of directors of the 9/11 Memorial Museum. We've talked about that several times. The 24th of April, which is in 12 days, we're doing another 5K run walk. So I'm excited about that. And I look forward to running or walking the 5K downtown. It's going to be hopefully a beautiful Sunday, and it's a great way to raise funds and a fun way to raise money for the 9/11 Memorial. Obviously, I lost my brother John on September 11th. And so it is super special to me. That place is super special to me. And so, you guys can visit 911memorial.org for more information about the run walk. And other than that, I'm trying to hustle with my acting career. I do a lot of voiceovers now, which is a lot of fun. You can hear me with University of Pittsburgh Medical Center, and I do a lot of T-Mobile ads for business, T-Mobile for business, which is a lot of fun.
Nice.
Keeps me kind of, working. I'm trying to get into a lot of theater. I have a callback today for a theater performance, so maybe I'll be inviting you to the show.
Not good. Yes.
Yay.
All right, we're out of time. Anthoula Katsimatides, it was great catching up with you. And if you kind of missed part of this chat, then you can download the iHeartRadio app. It is free, and all of my interviews live on as part of the podcast Sunstein Sessions. I'll see you guys tomorrow morning. Jim Kerr, Rock and Roll Morning Show, Q104.3.
New York's classic rock, Q104.3.